The best coaches are teachers. And this is something that I have learned the hard way. And one of the first realizations I ever had as a coach in this episode, I'm going to give you 5 different tips. There's a lot of different aspects and avenues you can take to become a better teacher, but these will be some of the most essential ones to help you become a better teacher now. You are listening to the Beyond the Scoreboard podcast, transforming athletes into leaders on and off the court with host Coach Furtado. Coaches, are you ready to take your passion for coaching and turn it into a full-time career? I know the challenges firsthand, but the Make Money Coaching Sports program helped me take BTG basketball full-time. If you're tired of juggling coaching part-time and want to fully focus on doing what you love, this business accelerator will give you the tools and support to make it happen. Hit the link in the show notes below to learn more and start living your dream. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Scoreboard podcast, your podcast for coaches and parents to be smarter, well-informed, and become better coaches and parents for our youth athletes. I'm your host, Coach Furtado, and in today's episode, I'm going to talk about one of the most important and not talked about topics on how to become a better coach. A lot of times we focus on X's and O's, communication, which is going to be a part of that. I want to talk about something that is really essential, that all the great coaches have it. I'm reading Bill Walsh's book right now, The Score Takes Care of Itself. And the best coaches are teachers. And this is something that I have learned the hard way. One of the first realizations I ever had as a coach when I was a college student, I was volunteering for the first time and I would just yell at the kids to do something, right? But I didn't teach it. And in this episode, I'm going to give you 5 different tips, ways, teaching. There's a lot of different aspects and avenues you can take to become a better teacher, but these will be some of the most essential ones to help you become a better teacher now, today. So number 1 is remove your ego. And this is the most important one because it's the most common one that I myself as a coach fail, and the other, an issue that I see with other coaches as well. What happens is, especially, and I'm talking again, this podcast is for youth sports, not for collegiate, high level, expect winning is the number one thing. In youth sports, winning is not the number one thing. Now, being competitive, of course, is. What you'll see oftentimes when you go watch club sports, high school sports, rec sports, it doesn't matter. You'll see coaches yell at kids, I told you to do X, right? But player didn't do X. So let's say, we'll talk basketball, right? Because obviously I'm a basketball person. We'll just talk about running a play. Player X doesn't run the play correctly. Now we get mad. Hey, player X, right? You don't know the play. And we just get so furious oftentimes as coaches, when in reality, we have to really ask ourselves, did we teach that play well enough? Because if they don't understand, we haven't taught it, right? So in math, think about a high school math teacher. If they don't teach algebra 2, whatever, some students are going to get it. Some students are not. And so we have to understand that all students are going to learn and at their own pace. So we have to teach, we have to remove the ego. If a player doesn't know the play, it's not because you're a bad coach, right? It's because the player doesn't know it yet. And tip number 2 is context. We have to teach with context. And this is the biggest issue that I see with a lot of coaches now is we'll run a play. We'll stick with the play analogy right now. A lot of times we're running plays without defense. And in basketball, there's defense when we play. So when a player is in a game setting and they don't run the play correctly, a lot of times it's because there's no context. Tip number 2 is you always have to provide context for the player. So if you want to work on a play, that's great. Do it with defense so an athlete knows, hey, this is the person that I'm supposed to screen. A lot of times we're running through things and they're just setting a screen on air. The athlete doesn't have the context they need to then perform that in a game. So providing context is king when it comes to teaching. Number three is review. So we want to make sure that we're constantly reviewing, whether it's a play, whether it's a principle, whatever it is. So I'll give an example. For my team, one of the things that we talk about, and we talk a lot about communication on defense. Now, our athletes need to know what to communicate on defense. I'm coaching 9th, 10th, 11th grade boys who are not the best in-person communicators. Maybe they communicate well online via text, but it's a lot harder for them to communicate on defense. So I've given them ball gap help. When they're on the ball, what do they say? Ball, right? And I'll ask that. Now, when you're in the gap, when you're one pass away, what are you? Gap. I got your gap help left. I got your gap help right. I'm in help. I'm 2 passes away. So you're communicating that. You're letting them know. And so every single day, multiple times a day during practice, we are reviewing, we are repeating. I'll literally ask them, what are the 3 things we said? If there's someone on ball, they're not communicating, I'll ask, hey, Johnny, Jimmy, what should you be saying right now? Ball, 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 ball. So we're constantly reviewing what they should be learning, right? Because that's how we teach, is it's constant review. And the next point is less is more. If you emphasize everything, you emphasize nothing. And this is one of the challenging parts of coaching, is figuring out your philosophy and what you're going to emphasize, because this is something that I struggled with as a coach earlier on, because it's overwhelming how many things you can focus on and be great at, right? So basketball wise, are you going to be a team that focuses on running great half court sets? Are you going to be a great team in transition? Are you going to be a great defensive team? You can't be great at everything. It's just not true. It's not true in life. You have to focus. So what are you emphasizing? What are the 3 things? Less is more. Then in that review, I don't have to review everything. And that's one of the challenges that I faced when I was early on. I wanted to be a really good, defensive team. I wanted to get really good at cutting. But in reality, you have to choose what you're going to be great at and live with it, right? And then obviously make adjustments as the season goes on, but you don't want to constantly change your philosophy. What are you going to continually emphasize over and over and over again? And less is more. So picking those 2 to 3 things, 2 to 3 topics, right? Whether it's, things that your team can identify with, and then you're going to teach that over and over and over again until they learn it. It's like learning math. We're in an algebra 2 class for the entire year when we're in high school. We're not in algebra 2 and geometry, right? There are levels to it. And then we have to obviously have our own curriculum. So the last, and honestly, one of the more important aspects of coaching and being a teacher as a coach is patience. We have to have patience. And this is one of the things that sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm great, I'm patient. And then there'll be some times where I'll just erupt and I'll get super frustrated. But when it comes to athletes, any human beings learning, we have to be patient with their learning process. And obviously we have to help them learn and drive some urgency. If it's a play, right? Are you giving them hey, here's a video, go watch this player. You're struggling with this, right? Hey, you're struggling to shoot with a closeout. How are you giving them, teaching and homework at home, and just understanding that patience? I think this is one of the biggest challenges, again, living in this society, in the social media society, is how do we be patient? I see, as I've been in this industry and I've been focused on development, you can see a team improve in 2 to 3 months. But if you really want to see great improvements, it takes at least 6 months, most of the time a year. A lot of times you may be listening as a coach, you may have a rec team or club team, something that you're coaching for 2 to 3 months. You can see improvement, but why you're seeing a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder dominate the start of the year, they have continuity. They didn't have to reteach anything in the offseason. All they did was continue to build on their system. And, obviously they get to emphasize more because I have higher level athletes that can do more, that are more versatile, and honestly just higher IQ than high school basketball athletes. But continuity is super important, having patience. And that's one of the big things. And that's your job. If you're a coach, right, you're a club coach, you're a high school coach, your job is to develop players over time. And this is one of the things that I struggled with again at first when I first started playing. I wanted to see results that practice. It's always funny to me when coaches say, "We worked on this in practice, and why is it not showing up?" You worked on it in practice one time, two times, three times. It's not going to show up. It's just not, right? If you want to build habits, that means you have to do that X activity, whatever you're emphasizing, 21 times. The science is obviously, again, depends on the athlete, but it's going to be more than 1 to 3 times. Like, that is the thing that drives me the craziest, is when I hear coaches say that. It's like, it's going to take a long time. It's habit. So I hope that is really helpful for you on teaching, is to number one, remove your ego. Number two, always provide context. Number three, always constantly review. Number four, less is more, especially that's going to help you with reviewing. And number five is patience. Those are the 5 tips I have for you to become a better teacher. And if you become a better teacher, you're going to become a more effective coach, and you're going to transform athletes beyond the game significantly better than you would have otherwise if you were coaching how you used to. So I appreciate you. If you got some value from this podcast, make sure to share it with a friend, share it with a coaching buddy, share it with a parent, whoever. Leave us a 5-star review. I am going live every single Friday. Hopefully I'll get some guests on here soon. And then with that being said, we drop this every Wednesday. So we want to make sure we provide the max amount of resources for you, the coach, the parent, to become a transformational coach and to make an impact on our youth athletes and change the game. There's a lot of chaos out there in the youth sports world. So, Coach Furtado, out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Beyond the Scoreboard podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and share it with a friend, coach, or parent you feel like would get value from this episode. It's our responsibility to impact as many parents and coaches who are the ones that are impacting our athletes. That's how we create a ripple effect. So thank you for being a part of our community, and we look forward to serving you all next week.